Hey, Planeswalkers, hope you're doing well and staying safe. My friends, we got an interesting top deck for you today. 4 standard, the top 1,000 Azorius Spirit deck. So this one hit top 1,000 last season. Very excited to showcase this one. It's something a little bit different for you here to play in the January Magic the Gathering Arena Crimson Vow season. So very excited about this for 2022, but appreciate you tuning in. Flip me that like. We'll talk about the deck here today. If you got a question, if you got a comment, let me know down below. Feel free to hop in the Discord server as well. On top of that, this deck list is readily available to you down below in that description as well, along with the Discord server information and the timestamps where I will break down the strategy objective of this list. We'll cover your boarding for best of 3. We will play that competitive Magic here today in both best of 1 and best of 3 with this standard deck. And then last but not least, we'll do a little bit of an outtake retrospective on where this might sit in today's meta, my friend. So again, appreciate you tuning in. Flip me that like, smash that sub button. Love to see you around again. Great ways to support the channel as well. So thank you to all the YouTube members and patrons as always. So let's go ahead here. We got the top 1,000 Azorius Spirits deck. This one is by a player by the name of Dick Do. Congratulations, bud, on hitting the top 1,000 there. So very excited about what we have. Now, one of the things that's interesting about this is it is a turn 2 play. I'm certainly going to want to be on the play. But again, that is how that works. A very interesting deck, obviously leveraging a ton of stuff here from the new set here, Crimson Vow, which is great, and then leveraging a lot of the previous spirit capabilities and creatures that we have before us. So here you got Circle of Confinement. This thing is a exiler. It's going to hit a creature opponent controls, value 3 or less. If they cast a vampire spell with the same name, you're going to get 2 life. Probably not going to happen unless you're playing a vampire deck. Fleeting Spirit. This guy's a 3/1. You can exile 3 cards from your graveyard and give this guy first strike. You can discard a card and that essentially bounces this guy or phases him out for the beginning of the next end step. We got a Valorous Stance here, Jawari Disruption, great. Always a big fan of some counter magic. We have a lovely 20 land deck, so 22 with this, so very aggressive with a low curve, which is great. And one of my favorites, we have Shipwreck Sifters. This guy, if you discard a spirit card or a card with Disturb, put a +1/+1 counter on this guy. We got Dorothea Vengeful Victim. So here, this is a flying legendary spirit. It's a 4/4. When it attacks or blocks, sacrifice it at the end of combat. For Disturb at 3, you can enchant another creature. Whenever this creature attacks, create a 4/4 spirit token, creature token that with flying that's tapped and attacking, and sacrifice it at the end of combat. If this would be put into a graveyard, exile instead. We got Faithbound Judge here. This thing's pretty sweet. 4/4, Defend or Flying Vigilance at the beginning of upkeep. If this has 2 or fewer judgment counters on it, put 1 on there. As long as this has 3 or more, it can attack as though it didn't have Defender. It's also got Disturb, where we can lock down our opponent there with a lovely curse. We get to put judgment counters on this thing, and then if there are 3 or more judgment counters on it, our enchanted player friend is going to lose the match. We got another cool spirit here with a Spirit Warlock. This thing's another legendary. It's got flying and lifelink, protection from vampires. Its power and toughness are equal to the number of permanents we control that are spirits and enchantments. So that's why we see that very powerful there. For 5, we can enchant a creature. It's going to have flying, lifelink, and protection from vampires, and X+X, which was everything else that you had before. We have Skyclave Apparition, which is great. We know that one very well. We got Geistlight Snare. So this thing's a slip. Spell costs 1 less to cast if you control a spirit. It also costs 1 less to cast if you control enchantment. So 1 blue for a counter spell in standards can be really, really nice. We got Thirst for Discovery, draw 3 cards, discard 2 unless we discard a basic land card, so great draw. And then Cemetery Illuminator here. So this thing's got Flyer. It's going to enter the battlefield or attack, or whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, we can exile a card from graveyard. We may look at the top card of our library anytime. Once each turn, we may cast the spell from the top of our library if it shares a card type with a card exiled. So we get a very, very nice card advantage here with this card as well, so that's pretty neat, and something to keep in mind. We got Cave of the Frost Giants, Hall of the Storm Giants, and Emiria's Call. Again, more land there, actually bringing it to 26. So very powerful and very interesting in terms of what we have here with the Spirits list. I did want to go a little bit more in detail, mainly because a lot of players might not recognize those cards. New and very, very experienced one here, because we know that it's a lot, at least in the Discord server, we joke, a lot of people have been struggling with Vorinclex recently. So something to keep in mind. So wanted to do a little bit extra on the Spirits here. So that is what we have in terms of the main board strategy objective of this list. It's really going to be an aggro mid-range type deck. A lot of it's going to be going over the top. A lot of it's going to be removing creatures. We got some big flyers in there, and that's how we're going to make this thing work. So now we're going to move on to Sideboard. We're going to break that down 3 ways: aggro, mid-range, and late game. Aggro decks are things like mono white. We got mono green Stompy. We got the Goblins deck we did yesterday. So some variations mono red. We got Rakdos. Rakdos Vampires, Mardu Vampires, those kinds of things in this space. Here, what you're going to want to do is you're going to focus on things like Portable Hole, take things out. You could always use Valor Stance to give your creatures indestructible, or destroy target creature with toughness 4 or greater, so good against mono green. Brutal Cathar, also taking other creatures off the board. And then if you're playing opponents that might have snowlands, Redain is always an option there, even though that's going to be more on the late game deck. So then we move into mid-range. Mid-range could be mirror match again with this, or again, this could be aggro mirror match. You're also going to start to face things like Roll Werewolves. In this space, we'll start to hit the treasure decks. We got Rakdos, we got Mardu. We got a host of other things. We got mono black, aggro, sacrifice, stuff that you can run into control. We got the zombie decks, both mono black and dimmer. Again, another bridge stuff. There we start to get into dragons, Izzet, those kinds of things. Izzet. So here again, similar style. If they're not running as many creatures, you might want to think about flipping in some Test of Talents to pull some stuff out of their hand. Thalia is a good one to throw in there too. Non-creature spells will cost 1 more to cast, so keep that in mind. That is also going to affect your stuff. So big one there. And again, Redain as a good option. Then last but not least, we move into late game. Late game could be Azorius control. It could be dimmer control. We got Izzet turns, Izzet Epiphany. We got any Epiphany decks in here as well. You name it, those kinds of things. So a host of pieces there. We're certainly going to bring in Thalia, and we're also going to bring in Redain. You might want Valorous Stance in there just to give your creature indestructible. Test the Talents as well are going to be some good ones there for you. So that strategy objective of this list, you're going to focus on boarding against either creature-based things or non-creature-based stuff. In terms of what you may want to pull out and move some of these things in from the sideboard. So we talked about the main board. We covered the strategy against aggro, mid-range, and late game. Let's go ahead now and take our Azorius Spirits deck and put it to the test here with season reset. So we're off to a fast and furious beginning here. We played yesterday with that. We're going to go here and make sure we get this right. Standard best of 1. Let's go find where'd our deck list go? Oh, we have so much fun with this stuff. Let's go back. Traditional standard. Gotta flip this to standard. There we go. See if that works. Maybe it will come up this time. Standard best of 1. There we go. Look at that. Maybe it was there and I just missed it, but we're back at it. Oh, this game is so challenging all the time, isn't it? Standard best of 1, ranked. Let's go for it. Azorius Spirits. Sometimes the import stuff doesn't work, unfortunately. So, all right. 3 best of 1 matches. Off the bat, here are my friends. Swifton. Let's do it. We are first. Let's get this in first. Now, we're not going to block here. No, I might block if they attack in. No need. No need. Let's confine this one. So that leaves us with that open. We'll wait. Now again, legendary. So we can counter and we can hit with Skyclave here. Get our 4 in. We'll see if it's the right play. So 3, we can pop it back on here. So we can do this again. It's gonna leave us with 1 there. Leave that open if we need to. There we go. So we still have our snare if we need it. Right now we don't have to worry about that guy. That one we can take off. Now we do this. Now this is going to be a lot of damage here. So then what we do next turn, if they don't get Skyclave off, is we double up, and that's going to be 8 damage over the top. We could kill that thing if we wanted to. We'll go indestructible. Actually, that was the right play. We should have killed that. That would have made that other guy smaller. I misplayed. So we could have killed that guy, and we would have been in a very, very nice spot. That cost us, like, potentially cost us the game, actually. Potentially cost us the game right there. Oh, that stuff makes me so mad. They can pop Faceless. The one play, my friends, really hurt us there. I'll do it anyway. Just because I want to show it go off. So if we would have killed that guy, we would have got the 1/1, would have been reduced. Then we would have had both the board, and we could have attacked in with everything there. So pretty cool though to see that either way. But that was the mistake that we'll not miss again. Playing too fast sometimes. More thinking about the one play, not the better play. So it happens. on like 2 hours of sleep too. Sleep deprivation does terrible things, my friends. All right, on to the next one. My poor little guy got little baby shots yesterday, and it did not go well. Which means no sleep for daddy. All right, here we go. We'll keep this. We'll kick out a land. So we got plenty of stuff here. Now this guy will get much bigger. We'll get our guy back, get our draw. Let's discard that one. So even though what we could have done is we could have tried for 2 there as well, but that's all right. So the only problem here is we haven't been able to get anything in the graveyard yet. So Cemetery Illuminator is not going to do a ton for us. But we do get to see the top one. We'll see if they trade. All right. I would expect maybe a Skyclave Apparition. They can pump Paladin class. Locks. Let's do this. Actually, this will make that guy bigger. Well, let's do this first. Let's get rid of our land. Put that guy on. Swing in. 2. Take that off. Now we got a counter spell, which is what we need. Let's grab this. Now again, this is a legendary, so we can't do much with it. Ooh. not the right mana there either. Just too bad. So we can go with another one and make that 6. We can do this. So we can phase out our Fleeting Spirit if we need to. That will also allow us to play Catilda on the other side. Ooh. That's way too bad. Disturb for 5. Let's see where they go. They put it on the flyer. Either way, we can block out. The flyer is going to be a little bit of a worse position for us. But we should be able to go over the top here. So let's see here. Past the blockers. So we need to go here. We need to go here. And then we go here. And then we go there. 3 blockers to first strike. Let's discard a card. Gets us over the top. Bam! Recovered from the first match, my friends. So that's a little nice trick. And then as you saw there too, when we discarded, that made our other spirit bigger. So that's another thing to pay attention to on the board. We didn't do that in the last one, but certainly something nice there. So not bad. All right. On to third and final best of 1. Oh, I'm still mad that we lost to Mono White in the first match. All right, what do we got? No blue. Ugh, I do like this though. Seems like a bad idea. Seems like a bad idea, but we'll play it. Mainly because I got that. Ooh, shapeshifter deck. Party deck. It's a party deck. Let's get this guy off. this guy off first. Yeah, you don't want to trade for your 1/1. Now, we don't have enough on the discard yet for Catilda. Hermit. It's alright, so we can play this. And we can wait. So we'll do this. We'll make them sacrifice Hermit here if they want to. We'll see. They didn't do it. Didn't do it. All right, we'll take that. Now, I'm going to do this just so that I can keep things moving in my hand here. Discard 2 cards. We don't have a basic land, so let's get rid of that. And then let's get rid of that. Now, if we go with blue again, we go. Can slip this thing. No, they can't. It doesn't have blue. Let's take the Hermit off. There we go. Alright, let's draw. Discard 2 lands. 1. I'll keep that. 2. Let's grab this first. Discard a card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little bit off there. I'll get rid of that one. All right. We can play this one over the top too, can't we? 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Could go over the top that way. Might as well just pop that one up for now. Probably could pull this guy off and swing in if we wanted to as well. Be 8. Maybe let's do that. Cleric. Take that one off. No, they're down to 2. Bam! There we go. Should have been 3-0. Should have been 3-0. We did go 2-1. My warm-up match, that first one. Sleep deprivation, I tell you. Ah. All right, on to best of 3 section of today. Not events. Best of 3 standard. See, now it's not there again, so I'm not crazy. I am not crazy. Let's go to our decks. Flip this one back. And say traditional standard. We got our sideboard, we're good. Let's go play it. Play. Standard best of 3, there we go. Didn't make me do that yesterday. All right, so best of 1, we went 2-1, should have been 3-0. One minor mistake, fast math, that I didn't do that I should have done, would have got us that win. So that's all right. So we got PTS here. Do I want to keep this? Opponent's going first. I will keep it because I got this. I got some counter magic. Let's start there. All right, we got a turns deck right off the bat. Now, Skyclave Apparition might not do as much for us now. So this is where you're going to flip in the 2/1s. You're going to delay with Redain. We're still going to play a lot of stuff, but those are the big things. And people not fully knowing what to do with this deck here. We'll just wait. So next turn we put that on Fleeting Spirit. We're gonna hang on to that. That's why. Now we can also pull in our Test of Talents. So again, banking on a counter. Still gonna get that. Now we got this guy. So 6, they can start to get their turns here. So they need a counter. Get rid of that one. Now, ideally, we would have had another land. We would have had lethal here. So there's their Epiphany. Now, they might have another one. Probably have another one. There it is. Now, they'll go to do the same play again, where they try and remove Fleeting Spirit here, if they can. And if they attack him with everything, yeah, they... Oh. Now we'll see if this falls off. Or we can just try that. Now we can double on the Vengeful Victim here. They don't have lethal yet with Storm Giants. If they have an Epiphany, they have lethal. They still have Galvanic there too. There's their Epiphany. Not enough for Galvanic and Epiphany. Oh, here it comes. It's a very nice reload. We'll see if we get away with it. Probably not. And it does fall off. Bummer. So we are done against Izzet turns. So what we have to do is we have to move in all our late game gates here. Very, very unfortunate. All right. So Test of Talents is in. Thalia is in. Let's go with Redain. This is gone. We keep those. Valorous Stance. Gone. 3 more. If I dump those. This I like better though, because then I can take the tokens off. And let's go with where are those? Pull that in. There we go. All right. There it is. Let's see how it goes. We have a test talents. We do. Go first. Now we know most of this stuff isn't going to come till later. Probably could have went with Judge there if we had wanted. Would have been the better play. There we go. Opponent's library. 1, 2, 3. Opponent's graveyard. Done. So, depending on how they play this now, we can maybe get there. They need to keep the divide by 0 up. I got that to move back. They could hit both my guys. Now we wait. Not give them the value. Now they didn't want to hit fleeting because we could have dodged it. Galvanic. One, two, three, four, five, six. Not enough on that. Get that off. Ooh, they really like that. No, not enough for Galvanic, though. So depending on what happens here, we may be in trouble. So we gotta discard again. And we'll get rid of that one again. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. We need one. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. There we go. There we go. Played around enough to make it work. Very, very nice. Ooh. Oof, oof, oof. Not bad. All right, PTS. Let's see if I can come back. That test of talents rip hurt them so bad. Hurt them so bad. We will keep this. There we go. Oh, would have been a good test of talents. Would have been a nice one. It's all right. Oh, we're gonna get through with this one. There we go. So when we discard, get rid of that. Sifters is gone. That's not. I'm okay with that though. Let's get this out of here. We still got this. Oh. Now we're in a problem space. I need to get a Redain on there. Ugh. We were off by 1. The problem is now I can't counter any of these spells. Everything's gonna hit the board. It's a nightmare. Absolute nightmare for me. They're essentially locked this in for them. There's nothing I can do to get around this. It's just gonna be a slow, painful death at this point. Unless I get my Exiler here. If I get him, then we're good. He knows they gotta get this kills in before I get moving. I will make them do it again. All right, that's good game. Unfortunate there for us. We weren't coming back at that point. Super, super unlucky. But that is how it goes. So we did have some of the right stuff. If we would have had that one card at the top, we could have got leader off and we could have been just fine, actually. So nothing terrible, but really, really fun deck. Something different here in terms of the meta. And something that I'm sure hasn't been seen quite too much, which is kind of neat. So a top 1,000 deck again here. Azorius Spirits. Again, we should have clutched best of one. We did go 2-1. We should have went 3-0. Best of 3 there. We did win one match of the 3. Very, very close. Lear essentially shut us out. If we would have got some of our other stuff in there, if we would have got our Brutal Cathar and taken that off, we would have been okay. So where do I think this sits in the meta? I think it's a healthy tier 2 deck. It played very well against Mono White. Mono White's a very, very popular deck. We got a lot of good outs with this one and a lot of ways that you can play with it in terms of what you can do. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Azorius Spirits again for you here today. The deck list is available to you down below in the description. You'll have access to it. If you have a question, if you got a comment, let me know. As always, love to hear from you, Planeswalkers. Feel free to hop in the Discord server that's in the description, along with other great ways to support the channel. Appreciate that support. Don't forget to flip me a like and also smash that subscribe button. Love to see you around some more. So Planeswalkers, stay safe. You take care. We got a lot more stuff coming your way. Top decks. We'll get to Friday Night Meta as always, our weekly series, tier list, host of other things. Hopefully some live streaming here again soon, and maybe some multiverse tournaments. So stay close. You take care. We'll see you again soon. Until next time, Planeswalkers, Mythras out.